What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 48 of Sweat Equity. Today's is a banger. I'm going to be talking about all things Q4, planning on email, landing pages, ad creative, stuff like that. So, Alex, what do you got?
I have two small segments. So first one's like just about hooks, and something that we've been seeing a lot with Cut 30 is people will only write like the verbal hook, and they don't understand that there's a title hook and then the title hook, verbal hook, and the visual hook. So I'm just gonna break those down. And then the other small segment I'm gonna do is about the David protein bar. Because they crushed their launch. They crushed everything that they did leading up to the launch. Their positioning's really well, or really good. So I'm going to break that down a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've seen a lot of their stuff on TikTok Shop, even, which shows they went full omni-channel because it's a brand that's kind of premium, especially that category is primarily done in retail.
Yeah.
And they really emphasize TikTok Shop as a channel. They already activated like 200 affiliates before they even really hit the ground running. They nailed it. And all of the messaging is the same, right? They know their secret sauce. It's that for context, this is 28 grams protein, 150 calorie bar.
Yeah. I saw a rapper in the trash can. Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
I mean, they're pretty dank.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to, I mean, I'm a guy who's, trying to bulk up. We just went over some issues I've been having in the weight room. So, I need that protein bad.
Yeah, I tried the same flavor as you. I think you did cookie dough. We did like an unbox, like a live unboxing. Me, Colin and Oren this on Tuesday, and so they sent us some of the David protein bars.
Is this your new man crush? I feel like because you might need a new man crush after what's been going down in LA.
What, the David protein bar?
Yeah. The founder is like the founder of RXBARS. Yeah.
I don't know anything about him though. Like
he's kind of a stud. Pause.
Is he?
Yeah.
No,
good looking dude.
I'm now going to just no idols.
Makes bar for a living. Damn. So you're on that stage of the Instagram creator arc where it's like, now my idols are my rivals type shit.
Basically, that's where we're at.
Are you gonna drop a streetwear brand?
I am.
It's all been a matter of time. All right. Well,
if you look at Instagram, there's a post that I put out in 2018 with the idea, and it's still there.
Yeah, right after the travel blog. So if you are gonna do an apparel brand in Q4, there's some few things that you want to check the box on. And so, we want to make sure that everyone watching this, we have a lot of consumer brands that are watching. And if you're like me, you're a procrastinator. You might have not done everything you need to do to be ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So if that's you, this will be useful. And if you are prepared, hopefully this serves as a way to look at some of the things that you might have missed. So without further ado, this is the ideal Q4 email strategy, right? So most retailers particularly see around 30 to 40% of their revenue come during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which is a crazy stat. So October through November 15th is much more so about priming your email and SMS list with what's about to go down. List growth starts with a high converting pop-up. So what does a high converting pop-up look like? It's image on the left and the offer headline on the right. Oftentimes that's exclusive early access, or it's a % off, or if you're a higher ticket item, it's a dollar figure off. And whatever you do, don't make people double opt in to join your email list because they never will. And so, you want to maintain the smaller discount that you're giving for email access. You still want to maintain that because that'll out convert on the pop-up versus saying, hey, get early access to our Black Friday deal. So once that's set up, it's super important to get your key campaign dates up and running. So what is the first one? It's tease the offer. You want to tease what the Black Friday offer is going to be so people are anchored and they're going to be on the lookout for, okay, I'm ready on this date to take advantage of it. Second, this is one that I believe in, is you want to give early access to a segment of your top customers. So how do you filter your top customers and create that segment? It's repeat buyers, people with high open rates of your emails. These folks that are very likely to act on the Black Friday discount and take advantage of it. Number 3, launch the offer, obviously. Like you just want to, get that out there. It's going to drop. That's going to be your highest email campaign revenue-wise of the year. And then right after that, you want to follow up with a drip sequence around the amount of days left in the offer. This is going away quickly. You're going to miss it, last chance. And then the fifth, and perhaps in my opinion, the most important, is the last day to get it under the tree. So this is an email that typically comes around like the December 12th to December 15th range. And it's last day to guarantee get the product as a Christmas present under the tree, or, you know, if you're ordering for yourself, whatever.
Because of shipping, right? That's what
Exactly. So there's a shipping,
Yeah.
you know, threshold where it's like, got to get processed, got to go through, you know, the bare minimum USPS, whatever it is. And that email is a great way to capture that last 10% of folks who haven't already made a purchase with you.
100%. I agree. Right before you got here, we were creating the same thing, Q4 campaign roadmap for a client, and we were mapping out all the content, you know, starting at the beginning of November, how we're going to start teasing the offer for Black Friday. We're specifically focused on the Black Friday campaign, Cyber Monday campaign.
Yeah.
And something we were thinking about too was, you know, something that I think people get wrong, or they don't think about too much. They don't put a lot of thought into it, is the offer.
Yeah.
During that time, you know, and so what we were thinking about was like, what are some different offers that we can start testing, or even things that we can go to the brand with and be like, hey, let's try some of these different offers. Usually you do 50% off or 30% off. Like, what if we start on Black Friday at 50% off, and then Saturday it's 40, then 30, and we work our way down, and we're creating urgency the entire time.
For sure.
Right. Or the same thing, if you're building up that wait list before Black Friday, do they get early access and an exclusive offer by being on that wait list?
Yeah.
Things like that are things that I don't think brands think about enough. And if they take the sequences that you just mapped out and then they like spend a lot of time on that offer, it's only going to impact it in a better way.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is, how do you not have a lull in October? Because it's a really stressful period. Like, I've been on the brand side of this, and it feels like you're going to go bankrupt in October.
Yeah.
Sales slow. It's a really slow buying period because everyone's saving up. You know, their wallet share is going to go towards November Christmas presents. And so, you know, like, how do you maximize the value out of that time? It's just shifting your KPIs.
Yeah.
It's just shifting the actual objective of what you're doing. And so the goal should be build the email list, build the funnel, the SMS, so that once you're ready to launch that offer, you have a really easy to activate audience. So the second thing we're doing, and all this stems from a brand that came to me and was like, hey, we have this massive revenue target, and like, we need to hit it in Q4, and it's for the life of our company. So like, what do we do? So kind of went through the thought exercise. Like, this is all stuff that we're actioning on for a brand in the wild. So hopefully this stuff is valuable for people. But the other component that we're doing is landing pages. So obviously you want to build up funnels and make sure that you test what's a high converting messaging. And so here's 3 landing page formats to experiment with in Q4. So number 1 is a listicle. The gold standard example of this is hostage tape.
All the way.
The biggest thing with hostage tape that's crazy is, you know, they run this landing page against a Google search of, is mouth taping safe? And so if you Google is mouth taping safe, you'll find yourself on a landing page from hostage tape saying, this is 4 reasons why this breathing hack could change your sleep forever. Yeah. What it does is it delivers clear messaging around the expectations of the product. Like, you're 3 reasons in without even realizing that this is an ad, basically. Yeah. And so, you know, as you're writing listicles, like, think about, you know, what is the easiest way to engineer the problem and the solution that you're coming for? Like, what's the easiest way to get that across before even selling the product at all? Because this is straight like sales letter copywriting stuff. Like, you're trying to get someone ready to buy by the end of reading something,
100%. Not
like the standard e-commerce stuff, which is land them on and above the fold and get them to take action on that product page.
Yeah, I think hostage tape is one of the best brands at it, where like, you're reading it and all you're doing is getting like information overload of, or everything regarding mouth breathing while I sleep, and how I'm not getting enough oxygen, therefore I'm not going to wake up with enough energy. And if I'm snoring, it's because of XYZ. And then, you know, at the end of it, you're like, damn, like, I need a solution. That's literally like the what it's creating is like this idea of, I need something that's going to fix this. And then they introduce a solution.
And it's a lot of problem aware agitation. Where if you snore, you likely know that you snore, but you don't know the actual downstream effects of snoring, / you don't know what is causing the snoring. So there's 2 prongs there. It's like, snoring is caused by XYZ. Yeah. You know, you're a mouth breather, which is a great insult, by the way. If anyone ever wants to steal that, just go call someone a mouth breather. Yeah. Because they won't know what to say.
and I think they also do a very good job of like positioning the reasons into something that's very relatable.
Yeah.
right? Again, the snoring or saying that you're not waking up with enough energy.
Right.
It's
They
like,
attach it to a story.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're attaching it
Exactly.
to something that's like a lot of people can say, hey, I deal with that.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and that makes it so much better.
100%. So listicles is one, and then the second one is publication or publisher affiliate pages. So like this is where, think about it as, you know, Stanley had the mom blog is what
Yeah.
really kicked off their viral trend. And if you're especially a high ticket item or your AOV hovers around like $200 to $250, you know, think about this as a buyer's guide. Like the top gifts for this Christmas is the headline, and it's going to cycle through kind of different reasons why your product is a great gift for the target audience.
Yeah.
So this one, I think it's really important to tie specifically to an audience. So if you're advertising to dads, like our product is in the sports tech space. So, you know, there's different buying reasons for both moms and dads. And I think it's important to send them each to a targeted landing page that will address those concerns rather than just saying, hey, parents.
Yeah.
You know, like those are different kind of motivations and incentives.
There's a company that does this. There's actually two that come to mind that do this very well. The first one's 8 Sleep. 8 Sleep will run this through so many publications.
Yeah.
And it's one of their kind of like influencer, quote unquote, like flywheels that they have.
100%.
The other one that does a really good job of it is a Farmer's Dog.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Farmer's Dog will run it through a lot of Facebook pages, or like Facebook blog, or not Facebook blogs, but blogs around, just around dog moms and dog dads and all that. That then they'll even do like a really good job of like comparing them to the other
100%
dog foods on the market.
And I can already hear the question in my DMs, which is, okay, I don't have access to a whitelisting publisher. What do I do next?
Yeah.
And it's, you create a page on Facebook. You have to create a page and an Instagram profile, and those got to be connected. You can't create a profile on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's actually like super important. And you just need to link it to your account.
Yeah.
Like, and to be honest with you, like I would recommend buying the followers for that. They're so cheap, and just buy like 10,000 followers, fill it up with a bunch of different creative, maybe like 25, 30 pieces of creative, because you want someone to click on that and at first glance not be like, what the hell am I looking at? You just need to pass like the vibe check of like a super quick glance. You don't want to have something that they're going to fall down the rabbit hole of, because they won't really care that much. But
is this ethical? No. Is it effective? Yes. But business is business, baby.
Yeah, and like what's ethical versus what's not. I mean, at the end of the day, like
you can buy a spot on GQ, right?
Like I was going through the funnel of buying a fucking sauna for a while, and you want to talk about like,
where are you gonna put that?
In my office, bro. In the corner.
In your room?
Yeah. But listen to this. I would have to reroute the electrical wattage in my apartment.
That's crazy.
It was kind of it's a wild take, but I don't know, man. I can't be trotting over to Lifetime to sauna.
And then
with a bunch of other dudes.
once you move, dude, into a house, once you move anywhere to another floor.
All right. So publication is one of these examples. And then the final one is exclusive bundles lander.
Yeah.
So this one is where you're going to deliver that seasonal aesthetic. You can throw a wreath in there. You can throw a turkey, whatever you want it to be. But like make it feel as though that is a time-specific landing page. And here you're going to deliver the best offer you can. So for our example, like we're giving multiple products. And the idea is like you're selling based on the total value. So the slash through pricing is like, hey, this is like $800 value for $499, you know, come hit it for a limited time only. And here's the Christmas vibes. Like it's really easy to kind of convey that stuff. And include specific language on the deal time frame and the expiration. And I want to be super, super clear about this. Actually hold to your deadline for the sale, because every brand that you know is going to say December 5th is the end of our sale. And then on December 7th, you're going to get that this shit got extended email.
And then December 8th is the friends and family.
And there's never been an easier way to look like a broke motherfucker in your
We talked
life.
about this last year.
Yeah, like
this was a big thing we talked about last year.
And think about it rationally, right? Because most people just get that email, brush it off. So like there's actually no upside. If someone really wants your product and is determined to be a buyer, they're going to contact you. They're going to say, hey, I wasn't able to purchase during that time frame because of extraneous circumstances. They're not going to convert on your extension email. It's like that you're last in the lineup on the rotation. You know?
And just like, if you are going to extend it, just be honest about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, this crushed.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep going.
Or just be like, honestly, like there's it's a lose-lose to extend the sale. So like set that and like don't bend on it at all.
When I was at the Hustle, Sam, I'm sure you've seen this, the infamous
the early
Hustle email. I feel like there's a workaround there where like you could send an email when the sale's over. It's like, hey team, what do you guys think about extending the sale one more day? Like
exactly. And if you're gonna extend it,
on that?
be creative about it. Yeah.
If you guys are down, here's the link for that extra 40% off.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. See if the discount applies. So yeah, that's kind of the landing page strategy is listicles, publications, and exclusive bundle. And then here's our $5 million ad creative strategy for Q4.
Nice hook.
Thank you. So you're going to start off with using the headline and going straight into a product demo. This faceless type of content is the easiest way to scale up multiple different ads, testing multiple different formats of messaging. It's really important because a lot of the time your product looks different in different settings. As like easy as that is to understand, like say you have a mini hoop, you know, it looks different in an office than it does in a home. It looks different in a home than it does in like a workstation in like a fucking barn, like you name it, right? And so there's different ways to see what piece of creative will resonate. And when you're creating that faceless content, here's a super easy script format to follow. So first you're going to have the hook. That's, you know, the most fun product to use in the office, something like that. Super easy, makes it kind of clear, understand, communicate what the product is, set the expectation for what the rest of the video is. Second, you're going to demo product feature number 1. Third, demo product feature number 2. And what I mean by that is match up the text with what's going on the screen. Again, super simple. Third, you're going to inject some social proof and just reliability here. So we've talked at length on the podcast about like what social proof should look like in 2024. This is, you know, something culturally relevant that appeals to your product. Maybe it's like a Reddit comment saying, you know, I've been looking for this my whole life, and you just throw that on there and be like, we heard you, so we delivered it. Last is handle some objections. Like you know what people are going to have as pushback to your product. If you don't, go ask 5 friends, what do you honestly think about this? Would you buy it? They'll tell you. And you know, last, you kind of close it out with CTA. So, you know, we'll test around 25 to 30 creatives from October to November 10th for that brand. And then on November 10th, we'll be putting all of our budget into the winners. And scaling the winners goes from like November 10th to like December 15th.
So check this out, because I know the answer is obvious, but do you wish you could see all of your competitors' top selling products, figuring out what's working, what's not, be able to look at those top selling products and look and reverse engineer the funnels for those top selling products from their ads, their landing pages, and understand, look, this product is doing 50,000 in revenue for this brand, for my competitor. Maybe I should do something similar. How do they sell it? How do they promote it? How do they send emails, SMS, landing pages, all of that. So I figured out and I got access to a tool that helps me do that. It's called Particl. It's a competitor intelligence platform. And so with it, I'm able to look at a competitor or look at a competing brand that we work with or we help advise and look at their top selling products. Then from there, I'm able to reverse engineer their entire funnel for that top selling product. I'm able to look at influencers, the ads, the organic content, et cetera, and really figure out how they position it, how they scale creative, how they're promoting it, all of these things. But I'm only able to do this by using Particl. If you want to, you can try it for 7 days for free. I got you hooked up. And if you do sign up for a free trial, send me an email because I'm going to be picking 5 individuals to be able to create a Loom video with how I'd reverse engineer your competitor's funnel. So sign up for a 7-day free trial and I'll get you hooked up. One thing that we've been exploring a little bit is like basically everything you've been talking about with testing objections and different hooks, et cetera. We've been testing on IG stories. And just seeing like which ones drive the most link clicks, because it's an easy way of testing without having to spend any money. So you could use IG stories again, like if you have a big enough audience to get a significant amount of data. Like some brands don't have, you know, like you don't want to use 10 clicks as data. But if you're comparing 200 clicks to 600 clicks, that's a good data point to be able to make that decision off of. But I'm excited to see how this turns out. It's a big revenue target.
Big revenue target. Got some budget, so it'll be fun.
I'll beep this out, but with a brand name. But we had a conversation with a client that said I want to hit 10 million in just Black Friday weekend.
So the last thing I wanted to talk about is when you're thinking about ad creative, think about the entire funnel journey, and that is think about it in this way. So we talked about landing pages, we talked about ad creative, we talked about email marketing, all of that sort of stuff. And so we'll take this concept of this mini hoop thing that I've been talking about, which is, my honest review of the hoop mini as a former basketball player and dad. That's the ad concept. Okay.
Dad now?
Huh?
Dad now?
Nah, I'm trying to speak through fatherly voices.
It's like, I was only gone for a week.
No. We'll see how my copywriting is. But send that to a 4 reasons to get your son the hoop mini, and then make the number one reason fun activity to share the sport that you love. Like if you create that synergy between the ad, the landing page, first bit of copy, you've got a really good chance of getting the message across versus, just sending them to the collection page based on, best gift for kids.
100%. We talk about this frequently where it's like, keep the scent trail the same.
Yeah.
Everything that follows like the last touch point should be a scaled version of the last touch point. So like
100%.
The ad to the landing page should be the scaled version of the ad, and the email, etc. And you should think about that as like, am I telling the same story across all of these touch points? If somebody comes in via this landing page or collection page, do I keep the scent trail the same in this email sequence? Yeah. And it's going to make such a significant difference for your conversion rate.
Yeah. Well, start talking about hooks, because I couldn't agree more. I think I see this. We produce 500 assets per month. And like the complete buzzkill behind a good concept is a bad hook. Like there's so many good concept, good ideas that are a bad hook. So
100%. What I always say is there's no retention without attention.
Yeah.
Right. And
damn, your jargon's been crazy today.
Crazy. And that starts with your hook. And we see this the same thing. It's like, whether it's we're working on the client side and the consulting side where we're helping them develop their videos and their content strategies, to then Cut 30, where our like week 1 of Cut 30, they have to create 5 hooks for homework. Mm-hmm. And what I'll see, and a big mistake I'll see, is just they don't understand what the visual hook is, or they mix they get like confused with the verbal hook and the title hook, and like there's just nuances there, but that make a big difference. And so I kind of want to I'm going to go over the different kinds of hooks, kind of some rules to follow for each one, and then why they're important as well. So every video has 3 hooks. There's the visual hook. This is the first visual you see, or the visuals within the first 1 to 5 seconds. I'm sure you've seen like the flash visual where it's like they show 5 shots, like boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, these flash cuts are going crazy right now.
The flash cuts. And it works really well.
Yeah.
And I really like it as well.
Such a monkey brain thing.
It is, but it works, dude.
100%.
It works.
Yeah.
The next is the verbal hook. So this is what you say, right? If I say this is this brand's marketing playbook, that is my verbal hook.
Yeah.
That is usually going to be, when we talk about word length, that is the longer one. Mm-hmm. Then there's the title hook. This is the text that I put on the screen within the first 3 seconds that somebody, as they're scrolling with no sound on, is going to read and pay attention to, and is going to grab their attention to then turn on the sound. These are the 3 hooks that make up any video, right? And the key to any of these, the key to making a good video, is making sure that you're optimizing for each one of these. Too many times in Cut 30, we'll see somebody use a visual hook, and it's just like they use a very boring static stock image versus trying to find a video or something to put in the background that makes sense. Or if they're doing like a faceless content, and they're leveraging that first video, the first video is like something extremely boring, right? It could be a shot from behind of them typing. It's like, dude, add some movement to it. Like, you have to make sure that first thing that somebody sees really gets their attention, or like creates that curiosity of like, what the hell did I just see? Going back to that guy Trico does a phenomenal job of this. In all of his visual hooks, he does something completely out of pocket.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, if this is the phone, he'll have a bat and he'll like go to swing towards the phone, or he'll do things like that where there's 3 to 5 things that he's doing. But that's more so for like the faceless or vlog content. But even for a green screen like I do, you'll notice I usually have two images or videos that I use within the first 3 to 5 seconds. And I'm always using something that is relatable or something that people know, right? When I did like good content versus bad content running brands, I used, what's his name? Action Bronson, right? That's how you say his name? Action Bronson.
Bronson. The fat guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used a video of him running, right? Because it was like, that's obviously going to be...
It's like an Easter egg.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still given the connotation.
Exactly, right? Then the verbal hook, the biggest mistake I see here is people write sentences. dude, like they're writing 10, 15.
It's crazy.
I saw some of the feedback I gave somebody was, dude, your hook is 28 words. That is crazy. That is not a hook.
Crazy.
That is 20 seconds of a video. Like that is not a hook. If you want to have a really good hook, keep it under 10, but realistically, keep it under 7. Like in that 5 to 7 range is like a good sweet spot.
For sure.
Because you almost want, the way I think about it as well is if the average watch time of an Instagram video is 8 seconds. Okay. If your hook is like 8 seconds and you're using way too many words, you're not even getting them to any of the meat before like getting them into some of the actual value that you should be delivering.
Yeah.
So my rule is always, if the average watch time is 8 seconds, I better be in the value within that first 8 seconds.
100%.
You know, like my hook should be the first 3 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds. And then by second 8, you should be able to have some kind of a value that you're extracting.
Or at least the foreshadowing or expectation has been like very clearly communicated.
100%.
I feel like a lot of your videos that may have done really well, like the playbook breakdown stuff, it's like you get them with the hook, which is like known brand, dollar figure.
Yeah.
And then you set the expectation of like, and this is how they did it. And there's some sort of specificity there. Hopefully that's what that word sounds like. But the Jenny Hoyos girl on YouTube, like she talks a lot about foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think that's a really powerful thing that you want to retain people is like, if you foreshadow what this video is about to be, that's what really earns their attention.
Because she always does like what is it? It's like $10 burrito versus $1 burrito or something like that. And she'll like show the Chipotle burrito.
Yeah.
And then go into the story.
Yeah. I need to honestly watch more of her stuff and like really dial it in.
The best episode was her with Jay Klaus. That was by far the best episode.
Yeah.
That was also the episode that helped Jay like take off. So they did that episode. I don't know how many subscribers he had, but it wasn't 100K. And this isn't me like talking shit. I love Jay, but that video got 3 to 4 million views and his channel just like,
yeah,
which is crazy. But he had already been doing it 4 or 5 years or something at that point. So
that's crazy.
It really takes one. You know what I mean? It really takes one.
He's creator science.
The last hook is the title hook. And again, another big mistake and obvious mistake is, dude, you don't want to add too many words here. I saw somebody or a few people were like giving us their title hooks and the title hooks had 10 plus words. I'm like, that's going to take up half the video.
Yeah.
Like the cover image, you know, that's going to take up so much time. And you want that title hook to really just set the context or give enough context that someone turns on their volume. So if I say, hey, this is BPN's $60 million marketing playbook, my title hook would just say BPN's marketing playbook. Maybe it would say BPN's 60 mil marketing playbook. But even then, that's
Don't you think words. The 60 million is important to include?
It is. And I usually have it in there.
Yeah.
The only time I won't have it in there is if like the brand's name is so long.
Yeah.
That, like, for example, David Protein Bar 60 mil or whatever, $5 million marketing playbook.
Just because it'd be hard to be like David's 60 million
exactly. But David's Protein Bar takes up a lot of screen size. And so again, like the mistake I don't want people to see with the title hook, don't put too many words, like 5 max, and then don't make it take up the whole screen. The whole goal of the title hook is most people are scrolling without their audio on, and your title hook should be enticing enough that they turn their volume on so that then they listen to the rest of your video. But again, key, you have to have a title hook, you have to have a verbal hook and a visual hook. All of these things play into getting somebody's attention. If not, the remaining time, right, of the video, let's call it a 55-second video, all that shit is irrelevant. Those other 52 seconds are irrelevant if that first 3 seconds doesn't land. So don't take this lightly. Like, this is so important. I always go back to that David Ogilvy quote about, 4 to 5 people will only read the headline. So if you're spending $1, you've spent 80 cents if when you write the headline. It's the same goes into this.
It's like it's like the artist dilemma. It's like everyone wants to write good shit, and it just like doesn't matter.
If that first sentence doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I was going to talk about was, and we'll make this quick because I know we're coming up on time, is the David Protein Bar. So again, I saw you had one in the trash. I tried one. That sounds like you didn't like it. You liked it. I saw the wrapper in the trash.
Ate it. Yeah.
I saw the wrapper in the trash.
Yeah.
I tried one on Tuesday as well. Did you watch the Instagram live at all? You don't have to say that you did.
I didn't.
Dude, one thing that was crazy was at peak, we had nearly 1,600 people watching live, which is kind of crazy that like we were just bullshitting for, an hour.
Yeah.
And 1,600 people were watching.
Was it live across all three of y'all's grams, or how does
No,
that
not
work?
Graham. So it wasn't even Oren's Graham. It was Oren's YouTube, my Twitter, Colin's LinkedIn, and Oren's Twitter, something like that.
Were y'all on IG, or was it just?
No, we were using StreamYard. So we were mostly on Twitter, I think.
Oh, is that like a multi-purpose streaming
yeah,
thing?
it was kind of cool.
That's crazy.
So I think we could do like Sweat Equity Live. Like there's some cool things we could do. Like I had never done like a very big live thing like that. So
Live's
it got
hard.
my wheels turning on like some stuff we could do for Sweat Equity.
Yeah.
Like we could have brands come in and like you and I hot seat them, and for like 10 minutes we just go at their brand and what they can do better. Like, did you see this thing that's going by right now where that kid's like a Democrat and he's like has all the Republicans seated around him?
Oh yeah.
And they
I think
come
it's
in.
the other way. I think it's the Republican with the Democrats now.
No, he's Democrat.
Oh.
He's a Democrat.
Oh.
And he has like Republicans come and sit, and then they debate for whatever
I'm
until
interested
there's
in like a different algorithm than you.
no, this is how
kidding,
I had
I'm
no, but it's like I hadn't seen it. Me and Vanessa went to dinner with Oren and Colin. When I get back, because Rudy was with us in LA,
Yeah.
when I walk into the Airbnb, Rudy's just watching this on the TV, and I was like, you watch politics? He's like, no, I saw this on TikTok and it was interesting.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh, interesting. And I was like packing up my bags, and
No, it just kept sucking you in.
every 2 minutes I was like packing shirts, just like staring at the TV.
Yeah. No, it's hella captivating.
But yeah, it was super good. We could come up with some clever stuff. But anyways, David Protein Bars, they did two things really well. The first one was positioning. The second was influencer seeding, but then how they did it. So the first thing is, if you actually, there's this newsletter called MKT1, right? And they have a really good guide on positioning. And they basically say there's 4 ways to position your brand. You could essentially position yourself as 10 times better, the new way, a vertical solution, or buy versus build. And when I look at the 4 ways, and I look at David Protein Bar, they totally position themselves as, hey, we're just 10 times better than the competition.
Yeah.
And this, you could see this on their website, on their copy, on their packaging, everything. So I'm going to read you a few parts of the copy on their website that just shows that this is how they're trying to position themselves. And for people that don't know, market positioning, or positioning yourself, is a variety of strategies, and this is straight from Google, used to convey different key differentiators of your product in comparison to others on the market, right? Like the whole goal is to film or to create a specific perception in somebody's mind that you're different than this other brand because of X reasons, right? And so when we talk about David Protein Bar, again, and them trying to say, hey, we're 10 times better than the competition, here's why, read their copy. So the first, above the fold, humans aren't perfect, but David is. Introducing the most effective portable protein on this planet. Right out the gate, 10 times better, right?
Yeah.
Then they have a dollars per gram of protein comparison chart, and they compare themselves to Built, Quest, Barbells, and Boiled Cod, and they come in at 9 cents per gram of protein in
I would have
comparison
thought boiled cod would have more for them.
Yeah.
I thought boiled
17,
cod was more efficient.
But cod's an expensive fish. Like, it's like a semi-expensive fish.
Yeah.
I know this because I need to lose weight, and I just had a nutrition call an hour before this.
That's hilarious.
I swear to God. And
it's crazy how the chart manipulation of them versus Quest. Like, I'm just gonna call them out. Like, a lot of these proportions ain't adding up on this graph.
I love that it's like 1 cent difference.
Yeah, but like it looks like it's maybe like 3 cents.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But still, good on you, David.
No, they did great.
Then the other one is where there's another piece of copy that I love. We thank our predecessors in the protein industry. We'll take it from here. What a good line of copy to position yourselves as a 10 times better solution. So like this whole time, they're just taking shots at everybody in the industry, and it's literally to cement the fact that they are 10 times better than anything else on the market.
Oh, did you know that Peter Attia was the chief science officer of it?
So
hopefully I didn't blow that.
You didn't blow it up. It was TNT in comparison to maybe
like a nuke.
A nuke. Yeah.
It wasn't. Keep going then. Sorry.
So that's really the positioning side. When you're trying to establish your position, you want to try to establish like, okay, what am I what am I positioning? How am I positioning myself against my competitors? Then how does every piece of copy take that from here to here to here to here and elevate that positioning? David does a phenomenal job of it. They leverage it within their packaging and their copy like so well. Now you form the perception, right? And they did that early on, right? As soon as they started teasing the product, etc. And people like Peter Attia and Andrew Huberman's also an investor and an advisor for the brand. So they have the two biggest individuals like pushing this brand. So they have a unique advantage there, but they form that perception, right? So the idea was from out the gate that we need to tell people that care about protein bars that we are the cleanest, we are the best, we have the best ingredients, all of that. Now we need to create FOMO. We need to create demand. So how did they do this? So you probably saw at some point that David's Protein Bar just took over your Twitter timeline. They took over your TikTok feed, all of that, right? And I'm sure you noticed it. As it took over your feed, they were pushing to a wait list, right? Which isn't anything crazy. Like most brands do that. Hey, we're going to be dropping this on this day. This is launch date. Get on the wait list to get exclusive access. But what I love that they did was say 20,000 people got on the wait list. I'm guessing it's actually a really big number, like 50,000 plus got on the wait list. Yeah. And I mean, imagine you have Peter Attia and David and Andrew Huberman pushing it like that. Wait list is
did they hit an ad read on the pods? Do you know?
I don't know if they hit an ad read, but I saw Peter Attia like publishing a good amount of content around it. Like, hey, it's that we're launching this product. Launch is coming up, this date, all of that. So if you go to Peter Attia's page, you'll see some like BTS of it at the manufacturer and all that.
So SimilarWeb has them. They did 5,000 site visits in July, and then they did 35,000 in August. So I can only imagine they did several 100,000.
Look at September, and then look at the Google search volume.
I bet it's
in
crazy.
September as well. It peaked. It was at 100.
Yeah.
And this is why though. So this is what created all the FOMO and demand for David's Protein Bar. So imagine you got on the wait list, right? You're one of 50,000. But if you were the first 5,000 people that joined the wait list, they sent the first 5,000 people a sample pack of the David Protein Bar. Plus, they sent it to some early on people that like were creating videos about it, that were like, hey, I want to do a review about this, all of that. And now all of a sudden, TikTok went from not crickets, haha, there's a cricket right there. It went from like crickets to all of a sudden David's Protein Bar on TikTok was everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. And it was because they didn't just leverage the wait list as like, hey, we have 50,000 people. We're going to send it to these, we're going to send them an email on launch date. They were like, hey, we're going to take 10% of this, or we're going to take 5,000 and we're going to get it into their hands, because them posting about it is going to create that FOMO of like, damn, did I miss out? I'm now anticipating the drop. I want to be a part of it. I want to make sure that I'm getting the product. And they leveraged that 5,000, those 5,000 individuals to create that. And for me, like, that is just chef's kiss on leveraging a wait list the right way
100%.
In comparison to most brands and how they do it. Because a lot of times when you think about wait lists, like the KPI is how big can the wait list be, right? And that's not that it's a bad KPI, but I think it's even better that that would be one KPI. But then the second thing was like, okay, well, how can we leverage this wait list before the launch to create even more awareness and anticipation for the launch? So
122,000 site visits this month. That's insane.
That's crazy.
So they went 5,000 in July, 32,000 in August, and then 122 upon launch.
That's crazy. And they launched like mid-September.
Yeah.
Or
and
like
for context, like 120,000 site visits, like when you see that, that's pretty much guaranteed, like, anywhere from like $7 to $10 million brand, like off rip.
Yeah.
So they just launched and they're already at a $10 million run rate.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But that's all I got. I actually just ordered some of these protein bars. I wanted the one that looks
You
best.
had that order live on the pod during the next session?
No. I did it.
Funnel's so good, he just can't touch the site without getting some.
No, I did it during the.
You probably ordered some cod.
No, I did it during the nutrition call. So funny enough,
I ordered an absolute ton of these when they launched.
Which one's best? So did you order all?
Yeah, I like honestly, I like the blueberry pie.
That's the one I ordered.
It's weird, like that's not, but I'm kind of a blueberry guy, bro. I'm not, blueberries hit.
They do, but the blueberry when you look at all the photos, the blueberry looks the best one.
Yeah, the purple's dope. The cake batter was very underwhelming. Chocolate chip cookie dough just is what it is, and then
fudge brownie
same with double. I mean, yeah, it's like a chocolate. I think the reason the blueberry stood out to me because like it just tasted unique. versus like the other one's kind of like
So-
the taste is nothing to write home about, but it's good enough that the macro profile just takes the rest.
Yeah. I mean, the 28 grams of protein, and it's like, I don't know if it's like 5 grams of fat or something like that. It's nothing. It's
Two G's of net carbs.
of carbs. Yeah.
I don't know what carbs do.
Huh?
I don't know what carbs do.
It's your fuel source.
You could have told me anything.
It's a fuel source. All right, guys. That's a wrap on the episode. Please like, subscribe. Mostly subscribe. We've had some videos perform really well. And like they have been driving a significant amount of subscribers, but there is a larger percentage of you that watch and don't subscribe. And we're dropping heat every week. Like go look on Twitter and search Sweat Equity. People are saying this is their favorite podcast in comparison to some of
LinkedIn
the other
too.
big I don't spend too much time on LinkedIn.
I'm
kind of cool.
You get a random love on LinkedIn.
I actually do. Yeah. The messages, the DMs.
Yeah.
And then shout out to actually one of our listeners. Let me shout her out real quick. Her name. Okay. Shout out to Sam Murphy. So Sam, I don't know if you got this DM, but she says she's an early listener of Sweat Equity. And she's like, this is small stuff to compare to the other brands and creators you guys talk about on the pod, but just wanted to share this success with you. She's like, I learned so much from the pod and went into creating our first content with that knowledge. So she posted a TikTok and they did it on their founding story and it got 250,000 views. First video ever.
Damn.
Her and her husband.
Go Sam.
So go Sam. I hope you make it to the end of this pod to hear this, but like amazing job.
That's how we know if you're a real Sweat Equity listener.
Yeah. And I told her, I was like, dude, that's video number 1.
Yeah.
Video number 1 got to 250. Like imagine video 100. Like
What's
you
the
still
product?
got 99 to go. I'll send it to you.
Word.
But yeah, amazing job, Sam. All right, guys.